Straight into what we have for you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on FCT Brief. Our security challenges persist across the country, ranging from terrorism and banditry to kidnapping and communal clashes. There's a growing consensus that force alone may not be enough. Today, we'll be examining the critical role of intelligence gathering in strengthening Nigeria's security framework. From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the forests of Zamfara and the highways of the North Central, the common thread in Nigeria's security woes is the absence or delay of credible intelligence. Experts argue that many attacks could have been prevented if actionable information had reached the right hands on time.
Intelligence is the backbone of any serious security operation. When agencies work with real-time data and local information, they can anticipate and neutralize threats before they escalate. But challenges remain, from poor coordination between agencies to outdated technology and, in some cases, lack of trust from the public. Now, to strengthen Nigeria's internal security and intelligence gathering, what steps should government and citizens take? To help us answer this question and more is Professor Chris Kwaja. He is the Special Envoy on Peace and Security to the Plateau State Governor. Thank you, Prof, for being with us this morning.
Good morning, Prof.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right. Let's take a look at intelligence gathering in our fight to make Nigeria a more secure space. How important and how valuable is information intelligence gathering in this warfare?
Intelligence is the oxygen that drives action. When you talk about early warning and early response, intelligence is the glue that binds these two pillars together. In a situation where you have deficits in terms of the organizational structure or the kind of people that are driving intelligence processes, from the collation of data to the processing of these data to transmission for action to happen, if you have a challenge with each of these points, then you will be battling with a huge security dilemma. Unfortunately, we are confronted today with a very serious and complex security issue. The first is not just about the people, but it's about the contested sovereignty of the Nigerian state. That today we are in an era where the Nigerian state is is negotiating its own sovereignty with non-state armed groups, criminal groups for that matter. That is unfortunate, and this is something that the Nigerian state must take very serious, because one of the most important features of a state is the sovereignty that that state enjoys. The second is also about the recklessness that is defining the way criminal groups are operating in this country. They operate with impunity as if there is no government, as if we don't even have any iota of security infrastructure in the country. And I think for me, that on its own represents a massive blow on our intelligence and security institutions. And my conclusion is that, looking at what happened in Benue and the visit of the president and how that ended, is that the moment you have a system where sanctions are not carried out, no one is called to account for command, because command responsibility is very key to dealing with inefficiency or culpability within the military setting. We've not seen any of that happen. People are saddled with the responsibility of managing security institutions. There are breaches. Some of these breaches are breaches that should not even happen. They are allowed to go scot-free. Rather, what you see in the country is such individuals are transferred from one command position to the other. The crisis we are dealing with right now is one that borders on a deeper reflection on the kind of politics we play with security. The politicization of security is one thing that is costing us very hugely. Unfortunately, Nigerians are dying. Now, when you look at the entire cabinet of Mr. President, the entire cabinet, there is no one single human being with a background in security or policing. No one. Look at the entire Ministry of Defense. The two ministers, none have a history of managing security. What I expect Mr. President to do is to look at the Obasanjo model on managing national security. When Obasanjo came in, who was his chief of staff? A retired general with vast experience in managing people, General Mukhtar. Look at his Minister of Defense, General T.Y. Danjuma, a man with a proven record of fighting to keep this country one, from the Civil War down to the coup that ousted General Gowon and how Obasanjo came in. Now, when Odi happened, when Zaki Biam happened, yes, we had concerns about how it happened, but he did it in a way that ensured that people knew that there was a government. We need to feel the presence of government. The moment people don't feel the presence of government, they begin to resort to extra-governmental means in responding to their own issues. And that's why many of these bandits and other criminal groups have seen these gaps in terms of the huge disconnect between government and the people. And they are able to buy loyalty from the people. Government must be able to reverse that climate of loyalty where communities now fear bandits, not because bandits are better than government, but because they don't even have access to the government.
All right, let me come in here, Professor, please. Yes, let me come in here. We have information that, in Benue and also in Plateau, the communities actually shared intelligence with the security agencies before those attacks happened. Now, nothing was being done about that. Nobody is being punished for that. Could that be why, this issue keeps degenerating to this point?
I was fortunate to be a member of the Plateau State Security Council for 4 years. And I can tell you firsthand that sometimes, even when communities give this intelligence, security agencies doubt this intelligence. It has happened. We have to push to say, no matter how tiny, no matter how useless an information is, it is better you act on it than for you to say, no, based on the report we are having from our men, we cannot confirm what ABC communities are saying. Mind you, criminals are not ghosts. They have footprints. If in a state like Benue, we had what happened, we saw what happened with the presence of all the security agencies, then something is fundamentally wrong. It means we also have what I will call enemies of intelligence within the Nigerian state, that the Nigerian state must do well to confront. And these enemies of intelligence I'm talking about might not necessarily be about individuals that are selling intelligence, but more about organizational dysfunctionality or inefficiency. And that on its own is a major signpost to failure, is a major signpost to the weakness associated with interagency collaboration in the management of intelligence in this country. And we really need to have a serious conversation around Nigeria's national security architecture. It's unheard of across the world to have, for instance, the Office of the National Security Advisor performing operational roles. That's not the job of an NSA. The job of an NSA is purely advisory. But look at, for instance, the Office of the NSA in Abuja. It's far bigger than even, it's competing with the National Assembly. It doesn't happen anywhere. Even in the United States, the Office of the NSA is right in the villa, in the White House. Very small. Your job is to advise, allow Defense Headquarters, allow IG of Police to do their job, and all you do is to coordinate with a view to providing Mr. President with expert advice on how these security and military institutions should perform.
Okay.
That is where we got it wrong.
All right.
Until we reverse,
If you could just hold your thoughts, we'll need to take a quick commercial break. We'll be